Hi, welcome to Saturday Night Yoga, and I'm Steven. Thought we'd start in child's pose, wisdom pose. Sitting on the heels of your feet, knees separated about a meter, arms reaching up ahead over your head, forward on the ground. Turning your awareness to your breath here. Just turning into how you're breathing on a Saturday evening. Noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. Not trying to change the breath in any way just yet. Noticing how you're breathing. If the mind wanders away from your breath, which it will, just gently bring it back, like a wayward puppy. Back to your inhale, and back to your exhale. And this pose is a pose to go into if you've done too many downward dogs and you need a break at any point in the practice tonight. You can always come back here. And staying aware of your breath. Seeing if you can simultaneously expand your awareness to include your entire physical form. So just giving yourself a little bit of a body scan. From your head to your toes. Noticing any sensations in the body today. Any slight aches and pains. Or just the feeling of your clothes and your skin. Your body in this pose. Noticing your energy level. Letting the sensations in the body, along with the awareness of your breath, tying those two items together, help keep you grounded and anchored throughout your practice tonight. Let's just bring the palms of the hands together, over the head or behind the head, whichever's more comfortable. Just taking a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Something you'd like to gain or perhaps let go of throughout your efforts and energy. Or perhaps setting a dedication to someone or something. And once your intention or dedication's been set, just take a deep conscious inhale through the nose and a deep exhale through the mouth. And from here, slowly lifting up the hands and knees to a table position, the shoulders over the wrists, the fingers spread wide, the knees under the hips. I'm just finding some organic movement here. So we figure eights, the hips, cats and cows. We would drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the hips, and on an exhale, arch the spine. And just shifting side to side like a grizzly bear. And just beginning to put the kinks out of the body, waking up. Exploring however your body wants you to move. And ultimately finding stillness again in your table position, spine long, neutral. We're going to curl the toes under And into the balls of the feet. Beginning to lift the knees off the ground. Lifting the hips up. Engaging the quadriceps. Blossoming the sitting bones. Finding your way to downward facing dog. Inverted V. Noticing the distance between your hands and your feet, and if it doesn't feel just right, you can shift forward to a plank for a moment, see if that inspires you to move your feet or your hands. And then lifting back up to downward facing dog. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the neck. Pulling the belly in. As the torso reaches towards the thighs, the heels reach towards the ground. And the shoulders relax down the back. And then on inhale, we're going to lift that right leg up and back to a down dog split. And just circle the foot in one direction. And then circle the foot in the other direction. And then lower the foot back down to the ground. On inhale, we'll lift the left foot up to a down dog split, three-legged dog. And just circle the foot in one direction. And circle the foot in the other direction. And then come to stillness with the foot. Lower it back down to your downward facing dog. And we'll just slowly, from our downward facing dog, shift forward into plank. Lower the knees to the ground. Elbows to the ribs. Lowering the belly. And then lifting the heart. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale. Drawing it all in, lifting the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Then pressing into the thumb and the first fingers. Maybe taking your downward dog for a walk, pedaling the feet. And then finding stillness. And then beginning to take little baby steps forward. Walking your feet towards your hands, the top of your mat. Finding Uttanasana. Standing forward fold. Keeping the knees bent to protect the back. Maybe reaching for opposite elbows here. Maybe letting the arms just hang like a rag doll. And just beginning to sway a little bit. Side to side. Letting go of the elbows if you're hanging onto the elbows. Find stillness. And then bending the knees if you weren't bending them before, and beginning to stack vertebra on top of vertebra. Slowly building up the spine. Head and neck are the last to lift. Finding your Tadasana, mountain pose. The shoulders are relaxed, the palms are forward, the heart is open. The feet are grounding down towards the center of the earth. The top of the head is reaching up towards the sky. Breathing here. On inhale, we'll take the hands to the heart center. Exhale here. On inhale, we'll reach the hands up to the sky. On exhale, we'll swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. On exhale, folding forward again. On inhale, we'll reverse the swan dive, come all the way back up. Once the fingers are over your head, we'll interlace the hands, take the palms of the hands to the ceiling. On inhale, just lean to the left. Take a little crescent. Lean to the left. Inhale, coming back to the center, maybe changing the interlacing of the fingers slightly, and then we'll do a crescent lean to the right. Breathing here. Inhale to the center, letting go of the interlacing, swan dive, folding forward again. Inhale, lifting up, this time to prepare. On exhale, we're just going to step that right to a low lunge, lining up fingers and toes, maybe finding blocks under your hands or Just spidering the fingers, freeing the sternum so you can breathe here. You want that front ankle under the front knee. And back leg, that right leg is long. It's like that right heel is pressing into an imaginary wall behind you. And just beginning to rock forward and back a little bit. Be a big movement or a small movement. You can almost be straightening that left leg. Just coming into like a runner's lunge, pyramid variation. And coming back to your low lunge. Or it could just be a slight wiggling motion forward and back. Next time you're back in your low lunge, hanging out there for a moment, finding stillness and alignment. And then we'll press the right hand into the floor and lift the left arm up. Taking a little bit of a twist towards that left thigh. Inhaling and lengthening the spine. And exhale, just twisting a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Inhale. And exhale. Now inhale back to the center. To that low lunge. And on exhale, we're going to straighten that left leg. Bring that right hip back. Lower that right knee to the ground. You can always put a blanket below that knee. Just finding a Hanumanasana here. Maybe finding your blocks or your spider fingers again. Inhaling and lengthening the spine. Exhale, hinging the hips, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, creating space. Exhale, melting the heart forward. Inhaling, lengthening back up. Shifting your weight back onto the sole of that left foot. Finding your low lunge again. And then we'll step that left leg back to meet the right for plank. And we'll exhale to chaturanga this time. Elbows to the ribs. Knees are off the floor. Rolling over the toes. Lifting the heart. Not rushing through it. And then on an exhale, lifting back and up to downward facing dog. Taking 3 deep ujjayi breaths in your downward facing dog. Pose in and of itself. It's an active pose and a resting pose. Breathing here. Scanning the body sensations. Listening to the breath. And after your third exhalation, we'll inhale that right leg up and back to down dog split. And on exhale, we're going to step that right leg forward to a low lunge. Just taking the low lunge that we took it earlier, but on the opposite side now. Spidering the fingers. Checking that your alignment's good. You want that right knee over that right ankle. And that left leg is long. That left heel is pressing into the wall behind you. And once your alignment is good and you can breathe, your sternum is free. And just beginning to wiggle it forward and back a little bit. Maybe connecting the movement to the breath. It could be a big movement. Maybe coming all the way back to like a pyramid pose, but with the back heel off the ground. Or maybe it's just a slight wiggling forward and back. Waking up the hips and the hamstring on this side. And then once they're awoke, finding your way back to your low lunge, finding stillness, and then we'll plant that left hand on the ground. We'll inhale, lengthen the spine. On exhale, just twisting towards the right, reaching that right arm up, stacking right shoulder over left shoulder. Breathing here, every inhale, lengthening the spine, every exhale, twisting a little deeper. Inhale and lengthening. And exhale, twist. Inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, come back to the center. Launch the sole of the right foot off the ground. So straighten the right leg, shift back, lower that left knee to the ground. Again, you can always put a blanket on the ground under the knee to protect the knees. Left hip is over that left knee. Maybe blocks are under the hands. Finding Hanumanasana on this side. So every inhale, lengthening the spine. And every exhale, hinging, folding forward. Inhale, lengthening. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen. On exhale, bring the sole of that right foot to the ground, finding your way back to your low lunge. And we'll step that right foot back, meet the left flank. We'll exhale to chaturanga. You can always take half chaturanga with the knees on the ground if you need to, but otherwise elbows into the ribs. Inhale, open up the heart. And not rushing through your upward facing dog. And on exhale, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we're going to come forward to plank again. Keeping the feet together, maybe bringing them a little bit closer together. We're going to roll over onto the right side of the right foot, or you can lower the right knee to the ground. Finding Vasisthasana, taking that left shoulder over the right shoulder, left hip over the right hip, left foot on the right foot, reaching that left arm to the sky, breathing there. And you still have control, coming back to plank, bringing the feet back together again. This time coming over into the side of that left foot, stacking the right foot on the left foot, coming onto the palm of that left hand, right shoulder's over that left shoulder, right hip is over that right hip, engaging the abdominals, reaching that right hand to the sky, taking your side plank on that side. And coming back to the center when you still have control. And back up to downward facing dog. Breathing there. Inhale and lift that right leg up and back to down dog split. Bend the knee and take that right hip over the left. And on exhale, we're going to bring that right leg forward, finding warrior one. So grounding down to that left heel, squaring off the hips. Feet are in opposite lanes of traffic. And sweeping the arms up, pinkies turned in towards the temples, heart is open. Breathing here, grounding down to the left side of that left foot. Finding your Virabhadrasana one, warrior one. And hanging out here in your warrior one, you want to visualize our next pose while hanging out in warrior one. So imagine yourself taking flight in warrior three. Imagine your body in a T shape. The left leg reaching behind you and the arms reaching ahead of you. And you have a picture, an icon in your mind of warrior three. You're going to slowly pour your weight into that right foot. Lift that left foot up behind you, reaching the arms forward. You can always have Anjali Mudra, the hands together at your heart, or maybe you're spreading your arms like airplane wings if you'd rather. You're keeping that back foot engaged, keeping the hips even, breathing here, hanging out in your flight for as long or a little time as you want. You can always just go straight back to warrior one. Otherwise, challenging yourself, you can bring your hands down to the ground, those blocks. When you've had enough of a challenge, slowly lowering down with control, back to your warrior one. And then we'll inhale the hands to the heart center. And on exhale, we're going to open that left hip, left foot, finding Virabhadrasana 2. So now the feet are perpendicular. They're in the same lane of traffic. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're looking out over the drishti of your right hand. Breathing there. You don't want to be leaning forward, or you're living in the future. You don't want to be leaning back and living in the past. You want to be in the center of your warrior two, living in the present moment. Breathing here. And then we'll flip the palm of that right hand to the ceiling. On the inhale, we'll take it up to the ceiling as the left hand goes down the back leg, reversing your warrior, keeping that front leg basically where it was. As the heart reaches up to the right hand. Breathing here. And exhale, we're just going to cartwheel it all down to a low lunge. And then we'll step that right foot back to meet the left for plank. Find your chaturanga, half or full. Elbows into the ribs either way, rolling over the toes, opening up the heart. Then on exhale, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Taking 4 deep ujjayi breaths here in this downward facing dog. So relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Hold the tummy in. Blossom the sit bones. Heels reach towards the ground. They might never get there. That's okay. And just scanning the body for sensations as you press more into the thumb and the first finger. Hands are like pressing into wet sand. Breathing here. And after that 4th exhalation, we'll inhale and reach the left foot up to a 3-legged dog. We'll bend the knee, opening up the hip on this side. Taking that left hip over the right for a moment. Then on exhale, we'll step that left foot forward, pivot the right heel in, finding warrior 1 on this side. Feet are in opposite lanes of traffic. And you're going to square off the hips. Keep that left knee over that left ankle. Sweep the arms up. Pinkies turn, ankles turn, ankles. Breathing here. Shoulders are relaxed. Heart is open. And then you're hanging out here and chillaxing in your warrior 1. And you're going to visualize warrior 3. So imagine your body taking flight here. That back leg behind you, and you're balanced on that forward leg. Maybe taking a different variation with the arms than you took on the other side, or the same. And when you have a picture in your mind of warrior 3, then we'll shift the sandbag of weight into that left foot and lift the right one up. Take flight in warrior 3. Squaring off the hips, keeping that back foot engaged. Your arm variation of choice. Hang out in warrior 3 for as long or short of a flight as you want. When you're ready, or if you need to, finding your way back to warrior 1. No need to rush. Challenge yourself. Don't go past your edge, but find your edge. Breathing, remembering to breathe. And when you're ready, lowering down with control back to warrior 1. And finding your warrior 1 before bringing the hands together. Consciously opening up to warrior 2. Putting that right hip, right foot. So now the feet are perpendicular. And then the shoulders are relaxed, but the arms are parallel to the ground, and the drishti is over the fingertips of the left hand now. Breathing there, Virabhadrasana 2. Again, you don't want to be leaning forward or leaning back, but right in the center. Finding your center. And then we'll flip the palm of the hand of that left hand to the ceiling, and on inhale, take it up to the ceiling. The right hand goes down the back leg. Reversing your warrior, peaceful warrior. Front leg stays pretty much where it was as the heart now reaches up to that left hand. Should be a little easier as the heart is a little bit closer to the left hand than it is to the right. Breathing here. On your next exhale, we're just going to cartwheel that right arm around, coming all the way down to your low lunge. Stepping that left foot back to meet the right for plank. Exhale, chaturanga or half chaturanga. Finding a back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting the hips up and back to downward facing dog. 4 deep ujjayi breaths, either in downward facing dog or child's pose. You can also drop the knees to the ground, hips to the heels, resting in child's pose. But you can still rest in downward dog too if you'd rather.